What's going on, guys? Welcome to episode 83 of the Tastecast, a weekly podcast where we talk about things, react to things, do a bunch of random shit. My name's Seth.
I'm Chevy.
And I'm Chris.
And welcome back, Chris. Always a pleasure to have you back. We'll have you here for a little bit. And for this weekend, we actually hit 1,000 subs, which is fucking crazy that we finally hit that. Thank you guys. All of you guys have been around for this whole time. A lot of you guys have been around for years, literally years. And all of you new people, welcome to the channel. This is an amazing milestone for the channel, and pretty much just the beginning. I mean, we're gonna keep building this community. So, in celebration of this, we're gonna be doing a 24-hour stream next Friday, the 23rd, from 10 a.m. to Saturday 10 a.m. 24 hours.
Pacific Standard Time. I know. I said Thanksgiving weekend, and all I was like, "What's that?"
I was like, "Oh yeah." Or when is that? Anyway, yeah. So we'll be doing that next weekend. Try and get Cody on here, get Josh on here. Chris will be here. Shay will be here. I'll be here hopefully. And yeah, we're gonna hang out for 24 hours. So make sure to hang out with us then to celebrate this awesome occasion. And again, thank you guys so much for supporting this channel. We love you guys, and we're gonna continue having these great conversations. Also, quick reminders: Plus Club, we have Bulletstorm Full Clip Edition and Yakuza Kiwami, both up for free on PlayStation Plus. Make sure to download those, play those, come back at the end of the month for Plus Club, which we're gonna have to figure out when that's gonna fall in on. I think the week after will probably be the better time to do it after the stream, because when we do the stream, we're not doing Tastecast because I'm gonna be in a coma. Yeah, so play those. And our game of the month, randomly picked, is Project Zomboid, a top-down zombie survival game. And play that. Come back at the end of the month for game of the month. We're gonna discuss that. We also have Discord link down below. Make sure to go down there, click the link, talk to us anytime, all the time. And we are on podcast platforms, iTunes, Spotify, and like 8 other ones, all linked down below if you prefer to listen to us. And if you're listening to us and you want to watch us, check us out on YouTube at Tasty Loot Gaming. I think that's everything. I lost my flow there a bit trying to talk about fucking hitting 1,000 subscribers, which is fucking insane. I did not. It's quite a surprise. It's awesome. Yeah. So with every Tastecast, we always start with what we've been playing. My list is kind of big and full of games that I typically would never play. So I'll probably have a lot to say on that. So does somebody else want to go first, or I can just dive in and set the pace?
I'll go real quick, though I'm going to refrain from some that me and you played together, and then I'll just talk about it when you do.
Yeah,
so what is not on your list that I have played? I played Yakuza Kiwami. Been trying to actually play that quite a bit, so I can have like a bit more of an opinion, because it's a very story-driven game.
Yeah, I feel like we're going to have a lot to say on that, because I've been playing that, and I've wanted to continue playing it, even outside of my obligation to the channel. Mm-hmm. So I do have stuff to say on that.
Yeah, and I mean, to keep it kind of short, because we do need, obviously dedicate a show to it. I am enjoying myself too. Yeah. So that will be as far as I'm going to go with that.
Honestly, I feel like if you are, as long as I would say, I'm mentioning you again, a weeb, or just somebody who likes Japanese culture or anime, I feel like you kind of have to like Yakuza. It reminds me kind of that whole kind of.
Or even Shenmue.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
like you had brought up before, it kind of falls into that category.
Yeah, for sure.
Other than that, I think I've literally played things that are on your list. I'm going to double check real quick to make sure. Oh, nope. I played a little bit of Path of Exile.
Yeah.
Got kind of inspired too, because we talked about them releasing new content before, and I saw it was still installed on my computer, so I went ahead and hopped in. It took me a while to get going, though, because I had to look up different styles of builds, because the game...
Did you get refunded again?
Yes.
Every time I come back, I gotta fucking rebuild my character.
So I hop in. I don't know what gear I have on. And I can look at my moves, but I don't know what they do anymore. Mm-hmm. So then, like, I kind of ran around real quick and just hit some stuff. I go, okay, I remember this a little bit. So I went back to town. I looked at builds, and if you're new to Path of Exile, you'll know that the character you pick doesn't matter for your build. It's you based your build off of either a piece of equipment or a move you have. And
the only thing that your character really matters is your position on the skill
starting point.
Yeah. But you can go anywhere with it. You just, if you want to head start, someone who's more powerful is going to be closer into like, more like strength-based stuff, but can, wrap around into other things.
Yeah. And yeah, huge emphasis on like your build. You build around like a skill or, like I said, a piece of equipment usually. And so I saw the move that was set to my right click because that is probably the one I'm using the most. And I found a build for that just to respend my points real quick. And then I started playing, and it felt really good, actually. So game is a little harder than I remember it, which is good because I think after playing Diablo 3 so much, the game kind of, has become a lot more user-friendly, I'll say, which isn't a bad thing. It's a very fun game. It's just I kind of appreciate the challenge that Path of Exile
a lot of those
provides.
types of games, you get to a point where you're just kind of like mindlessly bulldozing through crowds of people. And Path of Exile, unless you go into like earlier areas, of course, if you're in where you're supposed to be, there's always a pretty decent, like, you got to at least pay attention a little bit.
Well, and one thing I appreciated seeing too is I was in the subreddit for Path of Exile when I was kind of looking to reacquaint myself with the game, and wasn't even what I was looking for, but I saw someone make a comment of it's okay to hit a wall in this game. It just is a good opportunity for you to kind of stop, reevaluate your moves, your equipment, maybe grind and hope to get new abilities dropped and stuff like that. So the game, it's funny because the game is so loose and we're so used to like this character does this and stuff like that, that you kind of get in that mindset, and this game really wants you to kind of like take control of that aspect of it. And I think that is almost detrimental for some people. So
Yeah.
but obviously the game's doing fine, and they're still creating content for it.
They're releasing it for PS4 now, so
Oh yeah.
yeah.
But
It's crazy.
intimidating to start for sure.
It's like Final Fantasy X Sphere Grid times 20.
Yeah,
Easily.
I think it's fair.
But yeah, fun still. I'm not going to commit a bunch of time to it right now. I just was kind of curious the state of the game because I hadn't played in a while.
Yeah, I was streaming, and I asked you if I want to play Comrades. You're like, oh, I'm playing Path of Exile. And I was like, oh. And I just like turned around and started downloading Path of Exile. So I'm definitely not opposed to it. I was just like, that's random, but I guess I'll download it too. And I wasn't even like, what the fuck?
It's actually one of those games I don't uninstall once I install it.
I don't. Oh, actually, no. It wasn't uninstalled. It had a update. It had a download. So yeah, I started up Steam and had that start.
Yeah, usually the games like I install to play them real quick, and then I don't touch them for a while. And I install them, and then there's games where I'm like, I know I'm going to play this again.
Yeah, like Warframe. Never gets uninstalled. I know I'm going to play it. Sometime.
Exactly. So it's always on my computer.
Yeah.
Other than that, everything I played is on your list. So
Looking on my cheat sheet. All right, I'll hop in. Well, how much you got?
Not a lot.
Okay, good.
So I'm back in town, so I don't have my computer.
I'm playing the piano.
I can't play that either. Mine's back in California. But I did bring my PlayStation with me this time, just with a couple games, not a lot, because security was a bitch and stopped me and searched me and
Oh shit.
and swabbed all of my stuff for explosives. Yeah.
Wow, okay.
It was wonderful. Every time I go flying, every time.
Why?
Racial profiling, baby.
I guess.
I've never been stopped.
I've been stopped once. They like got real intimate with my ankle.
Literally, every time I fly, I get pulled over for random security checks. Every time. So I just come to expect it.
You're on a list.
I guess.
You said something wrong years ago
I mean,
on the
I did
internet.
download an anarchist cookbook a while ago.
Maybe that's it.
But I just play the Plus games. Internet at my parents' house is not the best. So online games are kind of out the window. So I've just playing Plus games. I played a little bit of Dark Souls. Still playing my Joan of Arc character.
Okay.
It's getting a little rough because there's not a lot of faith-based weapons.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never delved into that section of the game really.
There's some, but like it's few and far in between. So it's kind of more of like a strength/faith build just to keep myself viable.
Progressing through the game.
Yeah. And I played a bit of Monster Hunter the other day too.
Oh, weird.
I had Daniel over because he's gonna buy PlayStation 4, and so I loaded up Monster
About
Hunter.
time.
Here, play this. And it was fun just teaching him all the ropes of the weapons.
What do you think of it?
He liked it a lot.
Liked it?
Yeah. I mean,
No, this is the one that really they made it so everyone can get into it.
I told him that too. I was like, this is like a really like user friendly version of the game. Before, not necessarily not user friendly, but more stiff.
There's a lot of stuff you got to take into consideration in the old games too.
It's just streamlined. It's just westernized and streamlined, and like there's a couple things here and there that you don't have to do as much of anymore. You don't have to. Just a lot of things are already set up for you when you go out, and it makes it a lot easier to just get into the game and play it.
And then Soul Calibur. Those are the games I've been playing on lately.
It's the one game this year I haven't played, which is weird. Like, oh, I've played a bunch of fucking games. I mean, there's a possibility I could play the Quiet Man before I play Soul Calibur, which is weird.
Don't say that. Why would you say that?
I'm trying to have somebody give me a copy of the fucking Quiet Man. You guys aren't making money off of it. Send me a copy. It'll be like free advertising. Don't think for a second I won't show people that shit.
I don't think Square watches this. Or
Please,
whoever
Square.
the developer is for that.
We hit
either.
1,000. Somebody fucking hook us up with Square Enix's.
We play enough of your games.
Yeah, we talk about them. We'll be talking about shit today.
So yeah, we're gonna have a little intimate talk about one of their
We'll be
games.
talking shit about one of your best games out right now. Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
I feel like you played one other that we played as well. Maybe, I don't know. We'll get into that. Okay, so I have a weird list. A lot of random games and new games I've been playing this week, and some games with very interesting physicality to them, as some of you already know from the stream I did the other night. Okay, so went and bought Spyro Reignited Trilogy. The only reason I'm even starting off like that is because when I went in there, I went to Best Buy, and you have to, if you bring up a case, they have to go back and grab it anyway, which I fucking hate, but it's so people don't steal shit. And it's always annoying because some of those people, they're like, they know exactly what game I want, but other people, they don't play games. So I was like, can I get Spyro Reignited Trilogy for PS4? She's like, what? I'm like, Spyro Reignited Trilogy for PS4? She's like, for PlayStation 4? I'm like, yeah. She's like, what is it? I'm like, Spyro? She's like, I'm like, Spyro Reignited Trilogy. And I look over, and the other cashier's just looking at her, and he's just like nodding. Like, yeah. I was like,
Come on.
and then like she walks over there, and she's looking around. He's like trying to check someone out, and he's like looking over there at her like, is she gonna get it? And the whole time I'm like, they have to have it. It's not sold out. I guarantee it's not. And she's like, look around. She looks over. She's like, what is it called? I'm like, Spyro. And fucking, she comes back, and she's like, I'm gonna see if it's in the computer. I'm like, okay. She's like, how do you spell that? I'm like, Spyro, Spyro, Reignited Trilogy. And she's typing up. She's like, we have a lot of copies. I'm like, I'm sure you do. And fucking, she walks back over there, and then she comes back. She's like, I'm sorry about that. I'm like, that's fine. Like, you're lucky I'm like a really patient dude. I mean, I get when, I don't expect everybody to fucking know that shit. But it was a whole fucking adventure trying to get that game. And I'm glad to say it's actually really good. It's completely remastered. It's got brand new animations, got brand new music, reimagined, reignited versions of the original soundtrack. I actually played it for like 5-6 hours straight. Looks fantastic, plays really smooth, and it's true to the original games. It's the exact same zones, but way better looking, lush grass, great graphics, lighting, all that shit. They added really cool characteristics to the dragons, all the ones that you're saving, and it's really fun. It actually makes me hope that, first off, Activision did this, which is amazing. This is their second like big remaster outside of Crash Bandicoot. They actually had a bundle for both of them, but for 50, I think it's $50 for both of them, which I thought was pretty cool. Yeah, I almost picked up that, but I just wanted Spyro because that's the one I want to play for sure. But yeah, it's really good. I highly recommend it if you like platformers, you never played this or you did play it, or if you're a Spyro fan. It's awesome. So definitely pick that up. Really enjoying it. Also, I've been playing Tetris Effect still. That game is awesome if you like Tetris. If you like Tetris in any capacity, this is probably the coolest Tetris has ever been. I've said that before, but it's really fun. The journey mode has like levels that you're going through that have songs that vary the way the blocks come down, and it gets really fucking intense. Me and Chevy actually kind of were swapping the controller back and forth playing it. And even watching him play Tetris was really like anxiety inducing. The music's just bumping up. And
it's
like
super stressful even as the observer. It's weird.
Yeah. And I'm just like, there's so many times I was like fucking playing and shit. And I just look over and Chevy's just like, he's not saying anything, but he's just like doing this. He's just like fucking signaling to me. I'm just like, because it's just getting faster and faster. It's like speed 9. I'm just like, just trying to stay alive. Yeah, and fucking, it's very cool though. The music, some of the songs are really good. Most of the songs are good in general. And the amount of work they've put into the sound design, something Chevy brought up. A lot of the levels will have sounds in the song that happen when you move the blocks. So you're actually making the music as well, which is genius in its design, because I didn't even fucking notice when I was playing it the first time. I was just like, oh, the song has some really cool offbeat sounds happening. It's really smart. And I realized after he said that, like, I'm doing that.
That just makes me want to play in beat then, just like tick, tick, tick.
Oh,
you're
you don't want to
yeah,
do that.
Yeah, you're gonna get fucked. I thought about that as well. I'm like, you could make a song with this almost, but then I was like, if the game allows you and gives you the right blocks. But it is. Oh, that's for the 1,000 thing. Okay, anyway. I got a message. I was like, what? But it's very good. I highly, highly, highly recommend it if you like Tetris. If you don't like Tetris at all, don't check it out. But you're probably not going to want to buy it.
So this is obviously one of the games I played as well, and I have to re-emphasize the sound design of the game is done so well, and I think that is what causes it to be not only a refreshing and new experience, but it also makes it super anxiety inducing as well, because the sound design is made in such a way that even when the blocks are going speed 4, we'll say, and the music's going at a certain pace, and all of a sudden, instead of speeding up the block, they make the music a little more stressful. So
yeah, which throws you off because you're getting ready
and
for
it's
it.
not. Yeah. So they did a really good job. So it's like you're getting half steps in your speed as well because of the way they've done the sound and stuff. Plus the build up, the song becomes more complicated the closer to the end you're getting as well, which is great. It kind of honestly reminds me of the way Nier Automata sound design works.
Yeah,
it
you mentioned
building,
that, which is a good way to put it as well. The
Layers.
whole experience is just really hypnotic, I think is a good word for it, because you complete an area and moves into the next one, and then all of a sudden a new song starts, and it's a whole new experience. Everything looks different, sounds different. They put so much detail into every single one that you're just kind of trying to notice all that while trying to complete this level and play Tetris. It's so much better than it should be. It's fucking Tetris. Like,
Also,
everybody's played Tetris.
Right. And if you're into you can correct me on this because I don't really do music that much, but like I guess ambient, real like melodic soundtracks and stuff. This game is pleasant to listen to.
Yeah, for the most part, it has a lot of like trance, melodic, ambient sounds, which I love. There's a couple that kind of go in other directions too. There's a little bit of like some kind of like maybe Eastern sounds,
There's some
tribal
too.
stuff, which is pretty cool. There's one that's kind of like jazzy. It's like this metropolitan sounds, like
Oh, the city level, yeah.
And yeah, when you're moving the block, it's making like piano.
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. So yeah, play that shit. Another game you should play probably is Red Dead Redemption 2. I have continued my journey into that. Without saying anything about this, because where I'm at has some stuff that people should know about, unless they're playing it. I am in Chapter 5, so anybody playing it will know what I'm talking about. The game is, storyline-wise, getting better. It's building. I know a lot of you guys were like, Chapter 5 is where everything gets crazy, blah, blah, blah. And it has for the most part. But yeah, the game's still amazing. I really hope to beat that within the next week or two, because the longer I sit on that game, the more I'm worried about someone spoiling that shit for me. So, trying to get through that. Another game that I've dabbled in and enjoyed more than I thought I would, Heroes of the Storm. That's right, I said Heroes of the Storm. I played that. Played one fucking character, but I played a lot of matches, I feel like. The Butcher.
At least 8 matches.
At the least,
I had
yeah.
to play 8, so...
Yeah, and I did a couple before that too. So yeah, I've done like 12 matches, and I played a couple times before I went to work when I woke up. Yeah, I'm enjoying that. For anyone new to the channel, me and Chevy aren't particularly the biggest MOBA fans. I think the one that resonated with us the most was Paragon, rest in peace, and
Fortnite's fault.
Yeah, Fortnite, fucking everything's Fortnite's fault. Anyway, and what was the other one? Demigod, back in the day before MOBAs really got standardized.
Yeah, that was before the 3-lane system.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's just like, yeah, it's early on. But yeah, hopping in this one, it's really neat. I think graphically, it's actually really good looking. I was really surprised by that. But I mean, Blizzard is a quality company, obviously, so it's just nice because MOBAs don't have to look good. They just have to work well, and you have to be able to distinguish characters. But they did a really good job representing a shitload of characters out of all Blizzard games. I was looking through the roster. I was like, wow, they've added a lot of fucking people in this game. They all look really cool. They all stylistically look from where they came from, but they all kind of look similar to this game. Like, there's a style for this game. They all kind of fit it. It's interesting. Yeah, I was looking like at the monk from Diablo, and he looks a little different than he does from the game, but he still looks like him, and it's kind of cool to see that stylistically they can alter him to fit everybody else here. but still maintain. I'm sure anybody who plays this is like, yeah, no shit. But I haven't played this game.
A little late to the party, obviously.
Yeah, it's if anything, you should be happy I'm saying good shit about this. Plays like most MOBAs, so it's easy for me to hop into and understand. The thing I'm liking about it the most, though, is they have almost what I would equate to like a mechanic, like almost like a mini game, a micro side quest to every map that you have to do to gain an edge to the match, which I think is actually really interesting because there is a repetitive monotony to MOBAs. And I know if you're super competitive, it probably doesn't bother you because you're all about winning. But if you're playing this game for fun, that can get boring after a while. Just doing that over and over again. Of course, if you play with friends, you're talking, so there's more fun to be had. But adding just a little thing, Blizzard just adding just a little thing that doesn't necessarily make you win, but it gives you an edge in the matches, changes up. It almost kind of how Mario Party kind of like will add certain things to kind of like, well, you're behind, but now you got a chance to fucking make up for it, which is a weird comparison. This has something that you could be getting fucked, but you complete that, and now you got like a Zerg rush rushing on the enemy. And I think it's really interesting to see kind of the tide turn in a match that way. And yeah, so I mean, I'm enjoying it. I'd like to play it more. Although when I played it by myself, I realized that fucking XP boost you get from playing with people is so much that fucking when I went back to playing by myself, I'm like, I can't play this by myself. I'm not going to do it. The XP gain's so fucking slow. I can't do this shit. So I will only be playing it with people, I think. But so far, I'm actually liking it quite a bit. I would definitely keep playing it. In fact, I think that's the game I wanted to add to the game of the month list. Now that I'm thinking about it, because that'd be a good one. It's free. Everybody can play it. So, and yeah, I'm liking it so far. So.
I think I mentioned this last Stacy Cast. I started dabbling in this myself. Seth already brought it up as well. We're not big MOBA fans. I do appreciate that it does have a fully fleshed out bot mode that you can play with your friends, or you can join randoms and verse the AI.
Yeah, they're really good about that. Blizzard is.
It is, and so I get to enjoy the game as well. And as someone who doesn't really enjoy competitive games, it is really neat to see a game that is definitely designed for competition be able to bring in someone who casually wants to play it, like myself.
You're the reason I played it. Because like everybody can tell me they enjoy it and that's fine, but I'm going like, well, you actually do play MOBAs though. I don't play them, and I liked Paragon, but it's pretty fucking different than most MOBAs, just because there's a little more controllability that I enjoy, closer to akin of games I play: third-person shooters, first-person shooters, action adventure games.
It's built like an action game.
Yeah, so I really dug that. But then you were like getting into it, and not only were you saying you're into it, you were just playing it constantly. I was like, if Chevy's playing it, I'll probably dig it. There's not a whole lot of games we really disagree on.
Yeah.
Even games I play, you don't play, or games you play, I don't play. We still kind of respect them. So when you were like, yeah, I'm playing this fucking nonstop, I was like, I'm probably not going to dig it, but if it's really doing that for you, I might as well try it. And I played it, I'm like, oh, fuck, yeah, it's kind of fun. So
yeah,
that's awesome.
I'm glad everybody's playing it now. But for a long time, I'm level like what?
200 something. Yeah.
So I've been playing for a long time against bots. And there's no real coordination, like as far as like team comps go and like how to play with the bots. So it's really exciting for me. Like I can start building like team comps around like what people like to play. That's why I keep asking like, what's this one? What's this one? Oh, who goes well with that? Who goes well with that? It's just exciting. Even if it's against just bots, it's exciting.
I would like to play with like a full team of us versus AI or against real people. I'm not opposed to that, but I know you guys are
bumping up the difficulty.
But yeah, well, that was the first thing. We played one match. I was like, can we up the difficulty? Because I mean, it was fun, but I was like,
bump did matter.
But I was like,
crazy.
Well, the thing that was annoying though is we bumped it up, and it was slightly harder. I liked it though because I wasn't just steamrolling everybody, and we definitely we won anyway most of the time. But the thing is I got to learn about the fucking Zerg Rush fucking map when we bumped the difficulty up. So not only did I have to adjust to a higher difficulty, even though it's not that much more, but I had to learn that the AI does not like that map, and I don't like that map for the fucking AI not working with it. I got really pissed playing that map. I haven't been that upset at a game in a while. I was very annoyed. I was just looking for someone to blame. I was just like, this is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, you can't really point the finger because the computer's literally...
That's why I was getting more frustrated, because I couldn't be like, stop doing that. I was just like,
There are two maps in that game that the AI don't work so well on, and it's the Zerg Rush map and the Dragon Shrine map, because they both have objectives that you just have to capture.
That you stand on.
And the bots just rotate through.
Yeah.
So usually what I do is I just sit in the in-between point and just gank people, because they'll ignore you. The bots will just keep rolling as you just sit there and damage them.
The only thing with the Dragon Shrine versus the Zerg one is that you can just take the middle lane and keep pushing, and then if they get both, you just run back and puppy guard.
Right.
So you can still make progress on that. The Zerg one is difficult because nothing is happening ever.
Yeah. I was getting pissed too because like I was playing the butcher, and with the butcher you have to collect meat to get stronger, and I really like that system. And the longer I'm standing on this fucking thing, and the AI is not helping us at all, and me and you are just defending it versus pretty much their whole team, and their team's like just right up there, just breaking walls down the whole time while we're standing on this point. And they got like one guy every once in a while keeping us busy, two guys coming in keeping us busy, while the rest of the team's destroying shit, and our team's just running around in circles down there doing nothing. And I'm just like, okay, I'm not getting meat. Our walls are getting fucking broken down. We're not making progress on the fucking Zerg Rush. I was getting pissed. I was getting so annoyed. And I was like talking to Chevy, I'm like, this is fucking stupid. This is ridiculous. And he's like, well, I'm like, no. This is horse shit. And another map too, we're playing. What are the fucking little mini bosses out in the jungle? The junglers go out there.
Camps.
Yeah.
Camps,
Okay.
yeah.
So there was one of those, and me and like 3 of the AI went and attacked one. And we're all fighting or whatever.
Oh, it was the boss camp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
And we got it down to here. And I had died, and they killed another person on the
I was spectating
team.
because I died.
Yeah. And then the AI had full health with us. And the AI, as soon as we died, just left. And I was like, what the fuck are you doing? I was like, it was like one
You
hit
had
away.
it.
And then they had the AI had the audacity to fucking turn around and come back after it healed. And try and fight it. And I was like, want to rip my fucking hair out of my head. I was
That's just the bot being dumb, though.
just thinking about it's pissing me off. Whoa, if that was a real person, holy shit. I'd be having a conversation with him.
So that reminds me.
My heart rate's
I'm
up
going,
right now.
I'm going to go off topic real quick because that reminds me of in Final Fantasy XI when they had introduced tethering the monsters so you couldn't train them anymore. Mm-hmm. Fighting someone pulling aggro and walking into his tether zone so that it would reset and it just full heal as soon as it would go back. So you'd be trying to fight something and somebody like, I'm going to fuck with you. Yeah, that's so frustrating.
Taunt.
Yep.
God. All progress just reset.
Yep.
Ugh. It's like losing a save. It's fucked.
Yeah.
Just on a micro level in a fast way. Like,
I
all
even
that progress,
remember-
fuck you, it's gone.
I remember in Guild Wars 2 doing some of the events and like it'd be too hard and people start dropping and people were like, we're running back, don't run too far, and then someone would get aggro like a mage or something like, oh, I can't let it hit me.
Yep.
And then it goes, oh, I'm gonna go back full health. And you fucked everyone. Thanks.
Makes me want to shoot myself. It's awful. It's the worst thing in the world.
So yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, though, it's fun. Yeah. So really digging it. Like I said, I just want to play with actual people. So I can yell at them. I'm not gonna do that. But the AI, I was just like, this is so stupid. It's
I'm
insane.
gonna yell at everybody.
Do this. Do
What
that.
are you doing? Get over here. Come here. Do this.
I'm not. Yeah, don't yell at me.
Kinda
'cause I might yell back.
Gonna play tank and Chris is gonna be like, you should be on the front. I'm like, I'm gonna jungle.
I'm gonna do my thing. I'm gonna get mine. Yeah. Anything else on that?
I just like how the characters are all unique. Like
They're
not
super-
just like
They're done really
they're just
well.
like different. Like there's little tanks. Like each tank has unique aspects about it, and the way they play the game, it's phenomenal. So there's always like a character in each type of class that fit any play style.
Yeah, I'm starting to find that now because I hated the healers when I first started playing the game, and I found one I like now. I hated the tank or the warriors, and I found one I've liked now. So
Yeah, they have a cool spin on traditional MOBA mechanics, and I'm sure they've all evolved to a point that I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about at this point. But you know, you're just leveling your character, picking your moves or whatever, and then in this it has like 2 different finishers or ultimate moves you can pick from, which I like because you might be playing a team that you might want to use this or that, whatever. And yeah, like I've only played the Butcher. For some reason, that's the first one I picked. And as soon as I started playing, I was like, oh yeah, I like this one. Reminded me of a character from Paragon. I forgot which one. But But the whole meat mechanic, at first I was like, is this just like a Heroes of the Storm thing? Everybody's got to collect meat? And then Shoei's like, no, it's just him. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. He has his own thing. It's like an own little mini game for him. To get better, you got to collect that shit. Which also kind of scared me because I was like, there's a lot of characters in this game and they're all going to have shit like this. So that's a lot of shit I got to learn.
And some moves have quests. And if you complete the quest, the move becomes better. Too. So the meat gathering one is one of those. Once you collect 200,
oh
you
yeah,
become
because it's
stronger.
always like completed. I'm like, man, I keep completing that a lot. What the fuck is that?
Yeah, it's just a bonus.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's cool.
So long as the game goes.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, all the characters are different. It seems, and God, there's one guy who, when you kill him, he like comes back as a
Tyrael?
ghost or
Tyrael.
something.
Oh no, that's Leoric,
Yeah,
Skeleton King.
what's up with that shit?
That's lore. He turns into a ghost, and then
It's just annoying to kill somebody and they don't die. I'm like, okay.
he's dead. You get
Okay.
all experience for killing him. He just doesn't have to go back to the fountain. He can roam around the map and like leash to you to make his res faster.
Oh, okay, that's
I don't
interesting.
remember fighting him.
Big two-handed skeleton man or two-handed mace with.
There's somebody else.
Was
They
it the
turned like
dwarf?
golden or something after you kill him.
Morden, or whatever.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, kill him and
A
it'd
shadow
tell
of
me.
himself comes out.
Yeah, it would
as a
tell me
wolf
they
version.
died.
Uther.
Is it Uther?
Uther.
Yeah.
And then they'd run off all golden
He can
shit.
he can heal for a little while, and then it goes away.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was like a little spirit thing.
And
I was like,
yeah, and then
where the fuck you
Tyrael
going?
will turn into a bomb.
Yeah,
and
Tyrael
he'll
turns
just
into
like
a bomb.
follow
He
you
just
and
chases you
explode.
and blows up.
And then fucking May will she jumps out of her
Oh,
thing. Take her
Overwatch. Diva.
Diva, she'll
Yeah.
jump out of her mech.
Yeah, and becomes another character.
Right, but
way
she does
squishier, but does way
way
more damage.
squishier. Yeah, and usually like characters like that who have like double mechanics of like, oh, I jump out and I still got health bar. You get like partial experience for killing the first half and partial experience for killing the second half. So eventually it tallies up to a full kill experience. Like Murky, I think he has the lowest health character in the entire game.
Murky.
He's a little baby Murloc from Warcraft. But he lays eggs on the map that he can respawn from instantly if you kill him. Every time you kill him without the egg, it gives a fourth of experience. So he dies a lot, but it's not a big deal.
That sounds awful. I don't want to play that guy at all.
There's also Cho'Gall or whatever his name is.
Cho'Gall?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a two-headed ogre from WoW, and it's a two-player character. Mm-hmm. So one person's the spellcaster head, the other person's the melee head, and one person
How do you
controls.
coordinate playing that?
I've played it before with Rob. It sounds complicated, but it's not too bad.
Yeah, but how, like in the character select, how do you do that? Do you both just click
Oh,
on
it'll
it?
say
to-
the
you
first
have to
person
pick
has
a head.
picked Cho, and then someone else can pick Gall.
So what if someone doesn't pick it?
I don't know. I've never run into that.
Do you just get to
Usually when you
control
get
one of
Cho
the
Gall,
heads?
it's a pretty big thing because he has a huge health pool.
And then the Lost Vikings is you control 3 characters by yourself.
I was looking at one of their costumes, and they're all in like pajamas.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's
that's
a pajama
dope.
one. There's a techno one too.
That's just crazy. He said you can literally
Techno
you control
Vikings.
3 characters and you can play all 3 lanes at once. Then
What?
You do it like you would StarCraft. You can drag, click, and highlight as many of the Vikings as you want, or you can press like corresponding keys for each Viking and tell them to go to different lanes. So you've got to like start like coordinating across the map like 3 different characters.
God damn.
It's
So
effective though.
There's a lot of it, like you said initially. All the heroes are different, and those are
Yeah.
great examples of that. So
Yeah, no, it's crazy. You'll have to play it some more. Anything else?
no,
All right. Next game I have been playing, also another random one, is Final Fantasy 15 Comrades, not Final Fantasy 15, the multiplayer DLC. For anyone who is interested in that, I do believe it's coming out as a standalone.
yes, and it'll
but
be
it-
$10 then.
And it does contain spoilers if you have not played Final Fantasy 15. So not anything major, it seems, because I never beat 15, but it definitely takes place like in the middle of the game, in the story. But yeah, and that it's kind of a hub-based mission game where you're collecting watts to restart the electricity grid in the area you're at. There's multiple towns you're trying to connect all the grid to get the power back on. And there's all these random missions where you're fighting bosses, escorting things, protecting things, and there's customization, and you essentially level up a character, get moves, and upgrade your weapons. It's pretty neat. Although I'm hesitant to recommend it to everybody because I feel like there's a lot of people who probably would not necessarily be super into this. But if you enjoyed Final Fantasy 15, you probably will be into it because it's that only multiplayer.
I think it's a good way to word it is that if you're into 15, it is a good complement to the game.
Yeah, definitely.
But it is a bit of a shallow experience by itself, I think.
But it's deeper than I thought it'd be too. It's really confusing. Like it's not the deepest thing ever, and it's not like you're not gonna play and go, oh my god, this is like a whole other game. But because it definitely feels like they're like, well, let's just make a multiplayer component. But then there's like some depth there of like rebuilding the grid, and that's the way you're unlocking more missions and more things to do. So at first you have like 2 missions to do, and I was like, wow, this does not have a whole lot going on for it. And then you start doing it, starts building a list of shit to do. Plus my character looks awesome, so that's also a plus. But it's more robust than it should be, but it's not super deep. It's right in the middle. It's really weird.
Yeah.
How do the weapons work? Is it just like Noctis? Like you just get a slew of weapons you can choose from?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're a Kingsglaive. So you have similar, ability. You're just not, part of the King's line, so you don't have the dodged move. So you put up a shield to block instead.
Gotcha.
It still has the counter.
You can dodge though physically, like roll all the way and shit.
It's so you know how in the game if you hold the block button, essentially, anytime someone swings at Noctis, he just moves
blinks.
and he blinks. You don't do that. Your character instead will put their hands out and a grid shows up. And
circular shield.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and you still have the counter attack. So systematically it's the same. Thematically it's not.
Right.
But you can still warp strike and stuff. And then you equip 4 weapons and a sigil.
Do I still get the big shuriken? Can I throw
You
a big?
can.
Yeah, I think Psycho, when he infiltrated my game, without telling me, he had those.
Yeah.
That's my favorite one.
Yeah, that was trippy because we were playing, and we were playing with bots, and all of a sudden we're playing, and one just runs straight ahead.
Yeah, and we're like, what the fuck?
That's unusual bot behavior.
What's that bot doing? They just went just way past us. We're like, okay, bye. Like as soon as it started,
I was like, oh, not a bot.
and he's just wrecking shit. And I was like, damn, this bot's fucking destroying everybody. And then Shoei's like, I don't think that's a bot. And we're just like, okay. And I played for a while, and every game I started, that guy would show up. In every game, I was like, "What's this guy? The only guy who plays this game? He's just looking for like somebody please play with me." And then after a while, I'm like talking about this guy, like I'm just gonna let him carry me, like fucking go ahead, keep fucking killing shit. And then once in a while, Psycho in the stream's like, "Oh, it says who it is when they talk." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm sure it does." And then I just keep playing, and he keeps saying shit about it. I'm like, "Why does he give a shit?" And then I look down, and it's his name. I was like, "Oh, it's fucking." Sniping my game.
That's what I want to play because you guys are all talking about playing it now, and I tried playing 15, but the internet in my house is crap.
Now. If you can get it, it's
fun.
I see myself still playing it. Like I bought it because I was like, oh, like a multiplayer component of Final Fantasy. That's actually kind of interesting, and it feels kind of like Monster Hunter Light in a sense because you're going to fighting bosses, you're getting resources to craft weapons or upgrade your weapons, and there's food that gives you buffs. So it's not as deep of experience, but it kind of reminds me of it. But it's also kind of like it's not overly involved, but it's not under involved either.
I mean, it's the same combat system for 15. It's very automated.
It's very automated, but it almost kind of feels like an MMO too, though, when you're playing, because I'll also be holding circle and attacking, and then I have to heal, or Chevy does a mass heal or whatever, and there's all these components that you would attribute to a fight in an MMO. There's a boss that the health bar is going down slowly, and it's just more like you're just paying attention to everything while you go. And if you play MMOs regularly, it won't seem that bad.
That's how Final Fantasy bosses are since the beginning of Final Fantasy. Anyways, they're hit point sponges, and it's an endurance.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm just saying for a multiplayer game, anybody who's accustomed to MMOs and knowing the slog of a boss fight in a lot of MMOs, you're going to be right at home with this. So I feel like, if you're into Final Fantasy, or if you're into MMOs and you want a lighter experience, it's definitely worth checking out.
Well, and apparently part of the standalone too is they're also going to add more content to the game too. So they're
awesome.
not done adding to it, which is kind of cool.
I would like to see them. Well, that's the thing too. They're making a standalone, so they're obviously it's still in their mind. They're still thinking about it. If they're going, we're going to release this independently. Hopefully, with them releasing it independently, they can work on it alone. Because obviously they're done with 15.
Yes.
Now that what's his nuts left, but fucking. Maybe they can keep creating, at the very least, aesthetic stuff.
Cosmetics,
stuff you can wear,
weapons,
more shit like that. Because I'm actually kind of impressed with, it's not a whole lot of stuff you can wear, but It has more than I thought it would.
Well, it's not like the rest of the team who worked on 15 isn't still there. It's just the director.
Which they can make content. Like, they don't have to think of new ideas of story and stuff like that. They can just go, okay, here's some more missions. Here's some fucking sunglasses. Here's some sweet Nikes.
Here's throwbacks to the other Final Fantasy games you really enjoy.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, it's cool.
Yep.
I know I sound hesitant, but like I said, I can't say everyone's gonna love this game. But if you're like us and you don't mind a bit of a grind, you don't mind, it's kind of simplistic RPG controls. It's pretty fun. So especially with friends. So, you got anything else you want to say on that?
No,
because you also played.
Well, I guess a good compliment to give it as well is, and I'm gonna name drop him again on this show because he's been very active apparently yesterday. Almexite,
I had a lot to say. Yeah.
Is very dismissive when it comes to a lot of Eastern games. Especially, he's not a huge JRPG fan, and he was entertained actually by the multiplayer aspect of this and said it actually looked kind of cool. So
I think he's having more fun just talking shit about my character the way he looked. So. My guy's wearing like really tight, skin tight, like bicycle shorts that are like above the knee. I got some big ass, and they're like neon blue, neon pink with neon yellow lining. And then I got some white like Nikes, and they also are like neon pink in some areas and white in other areas. And they got a shirt with Kenny Crow, which is a crow like this, and it's a sweet shirt. And I got sunglasses on, but they're like those really dorky ones that like. I don't know, or like angular, and then I have like long Kurt Cobain hair that's blonde and a blonde beard. So he was essentially saying, you look exactly like we all think Californian people look like. And I was like, actually, a lot of people in California wear like khaki shorts, sandals, and fucking stuff that is more comfortable in the weather they live in.
I can attest to this.
Yeah. Every time I go to California, everybody's like, oh, people in California are so fashionable. I'm like, have you been there? Everybody there's just like, it's hot. I don't want to wear a lot.
Pretty much.
Yeah, so they're wearing a lot of khaki shorts. But yeah, my guy, I had to change his name. His original name was Dosalov, which is the name I use in a lot of games. I had to change it to Ben Shui because he looks like a Ben Shui.
He's a Shui bro.
He's a Shui bro. Surfing, skateboarding, biking.
I've yet to meet anybody like that in California.
Ben Shui.
It's a super old
Have you not seen Point Break?
No.
Those guys are all dead.
Okay.
It's over. But yeah, it's a cool mode. Mm-hmm. You should definitely pick it up. I think you'd like it. And yeah, if you buy the whole thing, they have the whatever edition. Royal edition. If you buy that, I think it's $25. You get all the DLCs, the Comrades mode, the game,
all 4 DLCs.
Really worth it. So if you never played that, I still got to beat it. The other game I've been playing, I'll be really brief with this one. COD, Black Ops 4. Playing that again. They're doing double XP for weapons this weekend. Different stuff, but there's some more. There's plenty of XP to be had. And it's very smart of them to be doing this.
You want to come play some Black Ops?
Yeah, and I do. Because they're like, more XP? I'm like, I'll be there. I was going to play something else, but I need to love some shit. I am happy, though, that they introduced the season in this game, which is, they call it Contraband, and it levels independently, and as you go through that, you unlock different tiers of stuff as you keep leveling up. But a lot of people are complaining that it takes too long, and people who work will not be able to get to tier 200 in time because it lasts for 2 months, and the next 2 months we'll have a whole new tier of shit to unlock. So Treyarch's been really fucking transparent about what they're working on with the game, and they said they had a lot of things they're working on to make that better. The first thing they rolled out is they made it faster to do it, so you go through levels quicker, which is very appreciated. I think I'm like 60 something now. Yeah, I'm almost 70. Now they just introduced something where your first win of the day will skip a tier. So if you're at 61, you have like this much experience, you'll just go to the next one.
You get 100%.
Yeah.
It's not like...
Yeah, you don't lose your progress. Yeah, you just pop over. And I think as you keep playing throughout the day, you'll get a token to skip a tier. So they're making all these little things to incentivize you to keep playing the game and get through the tier. So it's very cool to see Treyarch. I don't know what they're going to do next because they've been so open with just changing shit that needs to get changed. I remember in the beta, some of the maps had like certain rooms that looked a certain way. After the beta, they changed the way that room looks for tactical reasons, for reasons that makes that room make more sense. And that's really appreciated. So
they rearranged the furniture.
Yeah, pretty much.
think
Well,
they-
but nobody does that. Like, it's crazy.
I think they added furniture because I think it was just a big room.
It was a room with
no
these.
cover.
When you run in and the other team runs in, there was two kind of like shelves. So there's essentially 3 lanes, and you'd run in there and you could just see each other. And if you run around, you couldn't see each other. They essentially took those, moved them like this, and now when you run in, there's walls, and you can run around them or between them. So now there's more cover. But then there's also a room that didn't exist before, and now they made it. So there's not just one way to get into that room. You can go around another way. So it was really smart because that room did suck. One of the main points is in that room. So when you're trying to hold it, there was like no cover. And there's only one way to get into that room from one side.
Gotcha.
So they rearranged the whole thing just to make it work. Also, Nuketown is out now. Anybody who played the prior games knows Nuketown is in all the Treyarch games. And it always will be. And everybody who plays these games they want it to be in the game. I want it to be in the game. So it's expected. It's cool because this one is like 1950s Russia. So it's all snowy and all the buildings are like green and red and look very Russian. Very cool. And yeah, been playing that, just shooting people. Pew, 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 pew. And last game I played is a game that is a very interesting one. A game called Dragon's Crown. I said I was gonna pick it up. I think the last Tastecast or something. I asked you guys, have you played it? Should I pick it up? Should I not pick it up? I'm actually happy I did pick it up because it's kind of hard to find physically right now.
I think it's also going to be hard to sell to people, but go ahead.
Well, the copy I was gonna buy got fucking sold, so I had to order on Amazon. This is essentially a Streets of Rage brawler type game, but it is also an RPG. So there's skill trees, there's loot to get, and it's up to 4-player online and cooperative couch co-op. You can also play with people on PS3 and Vita from the PS4, which is kind of cool. But yeah, it's a fun game. I actually really like the way it plays. Has a lot of cool features, has a lot of cool missions. I enjoy everything about it. The art style is 2D and looks really neat. The environments, but but there is something really interesting about the game. Whoever designed the character models was very imaginative in the sense that they are all in some way ambiguous. I don't know how to say it. Exaggerated, yeah.
If I was one of the characters and I turned sideways, I'd knock Seth out with my breasts.
Or his ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even just like this motion, dead.
Yeah. So it has multiple classes, and the two that are going to be the easier noticed is the mage chick is very smart in the front area and very independent in the front area. They move in their own ways when she's casting spells. Her spells are very effective.
In mysterious ways.
Yeah. I mean, that song fits perfectly. There's an Amazon chick who looks like she could break. In fact, she probably could break a velociraptor with her ass, because that thing is huge and very stone-like. It's very angular. Very weird design. There is like a knight type dude that has like 2 pencils for legs, but his upper body is fucking jacked.
It's the top half of an hourglass.
Yeah, pretty much. There's an archer who looks pretty normal. That's an odd one. And yeah, it's funny because I play the game and I'm enjoying it, but every time I look at these characters and just think about who made the decision to make this the design of the characters, everything about the game is actually really fucking cool. But you look at the characters and they're almost like irredeemable. Like, I like that when you get loot, it changes their weapon, the way it looks, the way their boots look, their gloves, all that shit. But then I have to look at them. Their necks are all super thick, and they're fucking super jacked. It's like they looked at Golden Axe, and they're like, haha, back in the 90s, shit was ridiculous. Let's outdo them. And it's like, that was an era-based thing. You made the decision to make an ass that's fucking insane.
It reminds me of that infamous Captain America comic book cover.
Oh, God, yeah.
His chest is like...
He's almost fat.
Yeah, like you can't tell like what's happening chest-wise. Like his chest should be angled this way, but his torso indicates that he's facing this way.
Yeah, and it's like out here, and his head's back here, and then his back is back there.
Yeah, it's like what human anatomy class did you take to get this?
Well, and that's the thing that's funny too, is like comic books I've always gotten shit, especially in the last couple of years, of like how they make people look and how they angle, and they have those comparisons of how people would have to be able to fucking make those angles, and then that is like going too far. That's ridiculous. Yeah. And then you look at anime, and it's not hard at all to find some real ridiculous anatomy in anime. It's fucking common as shit. You look at a lot of fan service animes, and you're just like, this is so fucking meant for one thing. And then you look at this game, and you're just like, why? Who's this appeal to? The one guy who drew it. Yeah. He must just be really into it. And they're like, he's like, just let me do it. And they're like, I don't know, man. These don't make sense. He's like, just this once, please.
Well, it's funny too because like you made the comparison to the Korean artist who did the art for Blade and Soul would be the
Blade and Soul, Magna Carta,
stuff like that. The only difference I see there is though with the Magna Carta and Blade and Soul guy. I kind of enjoy the proportions of that because they are exaggerated, but it looks, I don't know how to word it.
It's not
juicy
over the top to the point where like the Mage chick, her breast must weigh at least 50% of her body. Like 50% of her weight is just her breasts.
Yeah. No, I don't agree with you 100% because I think this guy also draws things very ridiculous, but they're not angled weird. They're just very insane. But yeah, at least the thing I like about his style is there's a softness to it, and the color scheme and the style is very cool. But his proportions are ridiculous.
They are ridiculous.
They're not the same ridiculous. They're just different ridiculous.
But everyone in those worlds all look that way too, male or female too, which is obviously
there was a cover that was really really fucking ridiculous. I remember back in the day. Anyway, keep talking. I want to keep just staring at this.
Well, that's pretty much all I had to say. Is even though he has very exaggerated proportions and out of context, you show that to someone, they're gonna be like, "What the hell is that?" Type of thing.
It just looks like a sack.
You see everyone else in the world, male and female, and at least it matches. I feel like in this game, Dragon's Crown, every character has their own shape, and they don't even necessarily look proportionate in their own world.
Well, they don't look proportionate in anyone's world. But they all do look consistent though. They all follow the same art style for sure. And is this guy a better artist? 100%. His art style is really good. He just chooses to make them super juicy. But juicy. Well, because there's that like art style where everything's really round and they got the shininess on them, so everything just looks really bubbly and big and voluptuous. And this guy just looks like he like grabbed a piece of charcoal off the fucking earth and just started carving out some weird shapes like a caveman. And they're like, it looks kind of like a human. Let's throw it in the fucking game. Enough talking about that, though. It's so ridiculous. You got to see it yourself. Look up a video for Dragon's Crown to see just how insane these character models are. Like, I would never spend this much time talking about this shit.
You put it earlier, a good way to describe the Amazon character. In one of her just like still shots of her laying back, she looks like Ripley. One of the Ripley clones from Alien Resurrection. The one on the table, she's like, kill me.
Yeah, she's like laying back and like she's just like, it just looks like everything's spilling every direction.
She's like gooping out.
Yeah, and it reminds me of that part where that like the thing from fucking Alien Resurrection wants to die. And I was just like, I don't want to look at this every time. And when she rides the Velociraptor too, she's just like leaning back and just very sexual. But outside of that, just if you play the game, it is actually fun. So if you can look past that art style, and the rest of the game looks great. The world looks really good. I was watching like the 2D trees moving in the wind and all this stuff, and the music's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
It's just bizarre because if they just didn't do those character models, it would be a completely different opinion. It's be like, but this game, fucking everybody should have played.
They just toned it down a little.
They should have toned it down a shitload. I mean, if they toned it down a little bit, we'd be looking at what this guy does.
Right.
This is the toned down version of that guy. That guy, I really want to know what else he's worked on because I feel like he's just been in the closet drawing these pictures, and they're like, "Is he supposed to be cleaning the toilets?" Like, "Oh, he's drawing his pictures again." And they're like, "What are you drawing today?" He's like, "This." I'm like, fuck, maybe we should put it in a game. Maybe it's so crazy it might work. And people play like, "Oh, it was pretty fun. Why do they look like that?" It's weird. It's really weird. It's bizarre. So, but the game is fun. So if you've played it, let me know what you think of it. And if you haven't played it, check it out. If you like Streets of Rage, Golden Axe type games with deeper RPG mechanics, you will dig the gameplay. I actually enjoy playing it, but I fucking hate looking at certain people, man, all the time. I'll go talk to the NPCs and they all look fucking ridiculous. There's one guy who's just fucking super buff and his waist is this big and his chest is this big, and every once in a while his left arm just fucking go and just fucking flex real hard. I'm just like, what are you doing, dude? And then there's like this fat Gandalf guy. His body takes up the whole TV and his face is in here and it's like crooked. He's like, and his beard is just spilling out all over the place, and his hat is like so big it's drooping, which I have to give them kind of a little credit. Like, at least that dude has a style. It's consistent. Everything's just fucking spilling. Doesn't matter what it is.
Maybe the art guy just does a lot of drugs.
That would explain if they just came out and said this guy did a shitload of drugs when he drew those pictures. I'd be like, okay, that explains it. I guess we're done. Like, I don't have to keep wondering what the fuck were they doing. But I can handle the game, but I don't know if everybody can. But there is a fun game under those fucking smart assets. And I would definitely say try it out if you can get past how bad it looks. Characters. The rest of the game's great. Anyway, I feel like I had to apologize for that company.
You didn't make it.
Well, because there's a good game there. Like, the developers made a fun fucking game. It's just whoever fucking Joey in the closet fucking with his crayons. Like, someone just let him have his chance. They owed him.
Someone just needs to come up with a mod for it where they just reskin the characters.
Yeah, that'd be fucking great.
If it came out on PC, you'd see people probably.
It's the one game where it didn't do the opposite. Skyrim comes out, then later there's anime chicks in it not wearing anything. And this, they're like, let's tone it down a bit. Let's give them some distinguished dignity clothes. Let's make them feel like they're not just objectified, because they all are. Even the dudes are just like fucking ridiculous. So, and the dwarf looks like he got hit by lightning. He's just really fucking buff and really wide, but his beard is like an umbrella around his head. It's crazy.
He's a Dilophosaurus.
It's crazy. I'll have to stream it again, and you guys can just talk shit about how it looks the whole time. And I'll just go, I want to defend this game because it's fun, but it's so bad the way they look that I can't tell you, well, hey, at least no, it's fucking insane. Anything else? Mm-mm. Anything you guys played in any other Alien Resurrection like games? With things you wish you could put them out of their misery?
I did.
She's level 12, though. Saying bad.
I did pay for another month of that to make sure the guild house stayed intact. So
we will get into that in like 5 seconds. Let us know in the comments what games have you been playing this week. What should we be playing? Is there anything out right now that we're not playing that we should be playing? Don't say Battlefield 5, I ain't touching it. Don't say Fallout 76, I'm not touching it. But maybe these guys will touch it. They like to touch things every once in a while. And
no, like a pervert.
That's up to anybody in their interpretation. I'm just putting the words out, and they can come to their own conclusions. And yeah, listen to everything you think about when it comes to playing video games. That's what we do here. We talk about playing video games. Yeah, so we are going to talk about Final Fantasy XIV's Fan Festival. As of recording, is still happening. It happened. They released some information.
I think it just ended.
Yeah, and so we're going to be going down Polygon's article talking about Final Fantasy XIV getting new Shadowbringers expansion, Blue Mages, and more.
So can I suggest actually maybe doing this, and then this?
Sure.
So
we are still going to go down this thing, though.
Yes.
But before we do that, we're going to watch 2 videos real quick. We got 2 videos for the same thing. That's a new one. So... yeah, the first one we're going to be watching is for the Blue Mage reveal. Mm-hmm. For anyone who doesn't know, what is a Blue Mage?
Blue Mage is a monster class job. So they witness monsters use certain moves, and then they learn to use it themselves. Mm-hmm. That would be the easiest way to word that. It is worth noting... Well, I'll talk about it after the reveal, actually.
Okay. I just want to... Some people might not play Final Fantasy, but like, what the fuck? Are they just...
Yeah, it's essentially your enemies will do moves. I guess one of the most notorious moves would be Malboros do a move called Bad Breath. Blue Mages can learn that, and they will show the animation, and it is actually really neat, the effort they put in. I've seen these videos, disclaimer.
Every negative status effect in the game to you.
Yeah, that's
traditionally, just all at once. Just
fucked.
So
Yeah, so let's watch this and then we can discuss it further.
I think Chris actually passed on watching these, even though I tried making him watch
I watched one of them, not this one though.
Oh, you watched the teaser for the expansion?
I haven't seen either of these, and for the record, we all play Final Fantasy XIV.
Yes.
You guys played obviously more than I have, but I think I'm like level 50, just for reference.
I change classes every expansion.
It's funny, the class you are now is the highlight of the next one. Anyways.
I know.
This is you guys' topic. All right, let's do this. Oh damn, you got this jacked.
I do an audio test.
This is true. He did, for the record.
Oh, they fancy boys.
He is fancy boys. I thought that was a cat at first. Mesmer.
Kind of. Yeah.
I know exactly where that is.
That's sad, because it's just trees.
Thousand needles.
Oh, why'd you kill him? Look at him. So wait, he learned that?
And you saw he just puked up bad breath, too.
That's kind of cool.
I'm sorry, did you just learn something from Shiva?
Got that move right there.
I'm sorry, what?
Seems like there'll be longevity to this character, because you're going to have to go around and fucking catch them all.
So you guys have any thoughts?
Yeah, I as a person who doesn't know as much as you guys about this stuff, I like the way he looks. Brian, I kind of said it in the video. It reminds me of a Mesmer from Guild Wars, so that's kind of cool. I like the fancy clothes. I like fancy clothes. I like the kitty wolf fucking cane. I like the idea that it has a mechanic that the other classes don't have. It's interesting. It'll give people something new to look forward to, not just someone who has like some new like move sets, but like something that they have to think about. Oh, I gotta go fight this person and get their fucking move, which is pretty neat. Yeah, I mean it's also exciting because like Final Fantasy XIV has been doing really well, which is awesome to see. You were saying that they're opening up new servers.
So for North America, we're getting a new data center, and they're splitting the servers up so they can be closer to more locations or whatever.
Yeah.
And then in Europe, they're getting 2 new servers.
Yeah, which is awesome because that means you don't add servers to a game unless it's doing well. I mean, a lot of MMOs will condense servers after a while, so like we got to start consolidating all the people together. So that's awesome to see, and it's awesome to see that they're still adding classes like that. And so I, for some reason, like I always forget about blue mages, but they have so many classes in a lot of Final Fantasy games that it's cool they can still pull from that bank. So yeah, I think it's cool.
I'm excited. It's interesting to see that you can learn moves from the big bosses. That's not something that usually happens in a lot of blue mage classes. Like every now and then, like a mega weapon will give you like a super blast move, but you don't usually learn moves from bosses. So that's really neat to see. And they're using canes, it looks like, so it's different from what I know traditionally. Most of they use like scimitars or swords.
Yeah.
Okay, it's interesting.
Yeah, they usually have the same kind of clothes and stuff too. They're very like
Arabic
look,
Yeah.
Middle Eastern.
So it's neat to see that they kind of like this, like it's more of like European like nobleman look to them.
Yeah.
Or maybe French, like a French masquerade party type look.
Yeah.
And they look kind of like a mid-range support, like not like support, but like they're not quite a black mage from what we saw, but they're not quite a white mage. So they're just kind of like this in between, which is traditional of them. So it's nice that they stayed close to those roots, but I'm ready for my servers to be filled with nothing but blue mages.
So blue mage is gonna be a weird one.
That always happens though. Every time there's like a new class, everybody's playing that.
Blue mage does not require any expansions. It is, as long as you own Final Fantasy XIV, it is going to be a class that you can play as. And when it first comes out, it's going to come out during patch 4.5, which is around the corner. And you will only be able to get to level 50 initially, and they'll roll out further. There are 49 learnable abilities for them.
So I'll be able to play it?
Yes.
Cool.
There are 49 abilities to start with that they can learn, and you can equip 24.
Okay. Wow.
You'll have a book that you can, or a guide essentially, that'll tell you, they won't tell you what the move is, but they'll tell you where to get it. It's also not 100% chance. You have to witness the move, and the monster has to die.
Gotcha.
So there's the mechanic stuff for you. The other thing is they have a Blue Mage only thing called the I've forgotten the entire name. Something Carnival, which is a solo place for them to go fight things.
Interesting.
And it's only for Blue Mage. Also, this is a classless job. So it's not a tank, it's not a healer, it's not a DPS. Which
weird.
They haven't given full details yet. Unless they have, let me know below. But it makes me believe that they'll be capable of
changing it
being
up.
what they need to be.
Interesting.
Yeah.
They're an Omni class.
I wonder, it'll probably
Or-
be, if it is an Omni class, it'll be based off what skills you have equipped.
Or it's going to end up being a solo-only class. And that's why that Carnival exists, so that it has the ability. Now, there are certain dungeons it can do, but it can't do all of them as of right now. So.
Interesting.
So it's almost like it's an early access job, and it's going to get updated as we go. So it's like they're still working on it, but they wanted to release it.
I know
So,
a lot of people have
It's
been
weird.
clamoring for
Weird.
it.
Yeah, no, people have asked for a long time.
Long time.
Didn't you say they were going to release multiple classes?
Yes, but they didn't announce the other ones officially.
Okay.
There'll be more live
What do you
letters in
guys
the future.
speculate they could be?
Oh, God.
We'll have to watch the next trailer first.
I'm jumping the gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The list of classes that have been present in just Final Fantasy Tactics games alone is massive.
So, and I think because of the
buy that.
restrictions of the way the game
Play it again.
plays, a lot of people wanted Blue Mage, but I think a lot of the people who play the game realized it would be a really weird one to throw in the game because they'd have to make it make sense for 14. And it seems like instead of making it make sense for 14, they made 14 make sense for Blue Mage, which is really kind of crazy that they are willing to do that kind of development still for the game. So, personal thoughts on the matter there. So,
I think it'd be great to have a multi-class, though, because we don't have those in the game.
I think they're trying to get away from connecting things together as it is. So I wouldn't hold your breath on that one.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Start breathing.
But-
Chris, breathe.
I'm excited for people who wanted Blue Mage. It's not a super interesting class for me to play, but it was really cool to see that they were able to, like, it makes sense watching the trailer, because that was one of those jobs where I was like, how's that going to work in this game? Because the game has a very structured system.
Right. Right.
And Blue Mage didn't really make sense, and they are doing it, so it'll be cool.
Yeah. I think it's cool too. Let us know in the comments what you think about Blue Mage. Are you excited for that? Are you playing Final Fantasy XIV? If you're not playing it, why aren't you playing it? Let me know. Any reason. Just keep it civil. Don't be like, that game fucking sucks. It might. I don't know. You might hate it. Next video. Shadowbringers teaser trailer, which I believe is the name of the
Next expansion.
So, all right. You guys ready?
Yes.
Do it. Ooh, yeah.
As usual, here's a representation of you, the Warrior of Light.
And you remembering all the videos basically that happened for every expansion so far.
How many years have come and gone since that day? How many years have I waited for this moment? For the one that stood alone against the storm. For the one they called the Warrior of Light.
What the fuck is that? It's a mogwai. Don't put water on them. Hate when that happens. Gunblade. Puppy.
This town certainly has changed, and not at all for the better. This tragedy, greater even than the seventh umbral calamity, must be undone.
Yeah, punched.
If history must be unwritten, let it be unwritten. Become what we must. Become the warrior of darkness.
Cool sword.
Dark Knights, baby. Dark Knights.
So they're bringing in the Berserk armor?
Well, it's pretty much been in the game anyways. Thoughts?
I don't know what the fuck I just watched. It was cool looking though. I like the gunblade. I don't know what it conveyed because I'm not that far in the game, but it looked cool. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck just happened.
I really
it was
like
very cool.
the representation of how like the job class system works with him just switching like on the fly like that. That's really cool to put in that video. But it's there's so much like little things here and there in it, like all the
It's a
flags
very packed trailer.
Yeah.
The manky fucking Mogwai guy.
That little thing, yeah.
Where's
I can't
the
remember what
plushies
they're
of
called.
I
those?
can't remember what they're called, but they're in the game.
Yeah.
already.
Those are in the game?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. They're
shit.
usually like lower level mobs.
Ugh. I think it was ugly. It was talking shit too. You suck. I'm like, fuck you.
And just like whatever that angel thing was, the only closest thing I can think of that I've seen like that in a Final Fantasy game that I can recently recall would be from Crisis Core, and it's a hidden boss called Ultima. And even in Final Fantasy Tactics, there's the last boss in the game is Ultima, which is like a lady with angel wings.
Ultimate weapon.
Kind of along that lines, yeah. So I'm interested to see if that's like that connection, because I know they've been doing a lot of stuff in Ivalice, here and there the last couple.
That character model's already in the game.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in a dungeon. So.
Oh, okay.
Can't remember the name or the dungeon, but it's already in the game.
Gotcha. And then just like instead of being like the Warrior of Light, you're now the Warrior of Dark, which is like a throwback to Final Fantasy III, I think it was.
It drives me crazy because I know you kept skipping all the storyline throughout the game. So, but go ahead.
But I know the basis of like
Me and Chris just guessing our way through this.
the balance between the Warriors of Light and the Warrior of Darkness is that they're not necessarily good or evil. They like once the world becomes too engulfed in light, the Warriors of Darkness rise to bring the balance back to the world, and then the Warriors it just is back and forth eternal struggle. And I'm curious as if it was the Warriors of Dark that were in the game that we kind of beat up and sent back.
You did pay attention to that part.
I did. I'm curious because they look the main guy who was the Warrior of Dark looks almost identical to like the character they portray as you in the trailers. So I'm curious as to if this is like old world that we had before, because it shows the
Calamity almost.
The Calamity.
That's a good thing to bring up there, because actually I didn't even think of it in that regard.
So I wonder if this is just like showing like maybe we do like I don't know how they would incorporate it and how it would probably not even be a thing, but like their reality that they were trying to save and what happened to it.
So I know, and I'm sure anyone who plays Final Fantasy XIV watches the guy's content, but Mr. Happy did a video where he kind of shared his thoughts with it, and he's saying basically it seems like maybe it'll be another catastrophic event that happens. So, but some like rewind theater stuff for this real quick is at the beginning of the game, he's an archer, if you notice.
Right.
In 1.0, before it turned into A Realm Reborn, the main character was portrayed as an archer. In 2.0, he's portrayed as a warrior. When his first job change, he changes into a warrior.
Right.
Then he changes into the Dragoon from Heaven's Ward, and then he changes into the Samurai from Stormblood.
Right, for all the
and
expansions.
then the monk, also Stormblood. And then he turns into the Dark Knight for the next one. So that was cool to see that order in there. It's also cool to see, like, it's canon. The Warrior Light can literally be every job. That was really cool to see. Instead of just, like, why is that a thing? Like, you can just be whatever. He can. You can do everything. So, and then it is cool to see, and they've been kind of hinting at it in the story a bit anyways, that the light can't be the only thing that exists, and you doing everything for Hydaelyn, and constantly pushing, the light eventually. It's kind of this idea that light isn't all good and dark isn't all bad. And I think this is kind of going to be that tipping point where, like Jedi almost, there has to be
were the chosen
balance.
one.
Yeah, there has to be a balance, and the light is taking over too much at this point.
I hate you.
That angel is speculated to be like a warrior of Hydaelyn's, so you're actually going to be fighting against the light, it seems like. I could be wrong. This is, I'm just kind of guessing. I'm not caught up to the current story in Stormblood right now.
Me neither.
And then they did do, there was some talk about, obviously the light versus the dark. When you fight the party or the warriors of darkness, and they kind of talk about how that essentially about the balance and stuff like that. So yeah, story's going in a cool direction right now. I'm really excited to try it out.
I wish I just like knew what was happening. I mean, you explained it, but I'm sure it's a lot better when you experience it. So I'm like, that sounds cool.
And and for anyone who either didn't get very far in the game originally or hadn't played it, I have to emphasize the storyline for A Realm Reborn, without any expansions or even patches, is serviceable, but you can tell they were trying to fix a broken game.
Oh yeah,
and then
definitely.
after that,
And they did it.
Yeah, and when they start getting into the patches where they actually get to start writing their own story, it gets really good. And each expansion is designed to be played as a standalone story as well. There's things that connect them, but you will get a whole story. So even if you don't have the patience to go through the game and you want to buy that fast forward to play with your friends, you can still play that expansion and do that. And then there is a patch or a note that we'll be reading here, which will make you feel less bad for skipping stuff too. So, which we'll get into.
I think there's one thing we're skipping over, and that's what everybody's been blowing up about. It's the gunblade that we saw.
I'm blowing up about it. Gunblades are dope.
I mean,
Stop being haters.
They hinted at multiple jobs, and when they did that, they froze on Thancred there with the gunblade. So,
Right.
Likely going to be the weapon for one of the new jobs. The thing that's driving me crazy, those people keep saying it's essentially the first time a gunblade showed up. There's characters in the game with gunblades already.
But
enemies,
you get to get it.
Yes,
Your gunblade.
You'll get
my gunblade. There's many like it, but this one's mine.
now you can be real Squall with your costume, cosmetic
Not
gear,
fake Squall. Stop
can.
fucking faking.
can already be Cloud. So
and lightning.
yeah,
My character looks just like lightning.
Not me.
yeah. Any other thoughts?
My thought is I like this comment. There's someone commented on this article. They said much better than BlizzCon. Shots fired. I didn't say that. That is Eldon who said that.
Gunblade shots fired.
Someone else said that. Don't shoot the messenger.
Yeah. I'll read through this and you can just give me some details on this. Okay. So let us know in the comments what you think about the trailer, though. Are you excited for fucking Shadowbringers?
Another was it SB?
Yeah.
Stormblood.
Yeah. And and you play Final Fantasy XIV. So yeah, this is by Polygon. I'm just going to go through this list real quick, and then Chevy can give me some more details if we need it. So it says Final Fantasy XIV's fan festival is underway in Las Vegas, and the developers, it was in Las Vegas, it's interesting. Developers of the game took the stage to announce some big changes coming to the MMORPG. Producer and director Naoki Yoshida, with the help of translator and English localization lead Koji Fox, announced a new expansion, new job, and teased the highly anticipated new race to play as. Here's a roundup of the Final Fantasy XIV, blah, blah, blah. Shadowbringers is the new expansion coming in early summer 2019. Shadowbringers will finally bring Final Fantasy XIV version 5.0. In this expansion, players will be able to fight the Garlean Empire and dive back into the fantastic storyline that Final Fantasy XIV has to offer. Multiple new jobs will also be released as part of the expansion, and the level cap will be raised from 70 to 80. Following the pattern of previous expansions, it will also bring about new areas to explore, new beast tribes, and new dungeons, and more. Anything to add to that?
The only thing I really have to add to that, and I wish we had a screenshot to show, maybe I'll try to find one for you to throw in the video, but one of the beast tribes kind of remind me of something that belongs in Dark Crystal almost. It's really weird.
Like Skeksis or something?
No,
like that?
they're like more like the...
They don't got noses, they got little fucking faces.
They kind of remind me of the... What is the main character's race called?
Gelfling.
Yeah, they're like... But they got these... I don't know. You'll see them, they look Jim Henson, right?
Okay.
So I'll try to find a picture.
Very Jim Henson.
They're very cool. But yeah, other than that, yeah. That was all self-explanatory.
Next part, a character with a gunblade appears. We saw that in the trailer. Thancred, one of the main NPCs from the game, was seen in Shadowbringers trailer carrying a gunblade similar to ones we've seen in previous Final Fantasy games. Fox and Yoshida both laughed and directed players back to the trailer when referencing some of the new jobs to be introduced in Shadowbringers expansion, so this could definitely be one of them. I feel like if they are having fun with it, you know, if they were not putting in the game, I feel like they would have been more they would try to explain it a bit more, like, well, you might be coming, might not. We're still trying to figure shit out. That they have a sense of humor with it. I feel like it's expected. They know people want it. They probably put it in the game.
I think too, it'd be really easy for them to write it off too, because the Garlands use gunblades, and that image of Thancred, he's a lot older looking, so it makes me think it's in the future. And he could be running, and he could have stolen a weapon off someone, because he's a ninja in the game right now. Essentially,
right?
He's a rogue, but he's a ninja. So, yeah, totally going to be a gunblade class. It'd be really weird if it wasn't in the game.
So dope, and I'm only going to play that one.
DPS or tank? What do you think it would be?
They didn't do a tank last time, so they might do it this time.
You think it'd be a tank?
I don't.
mean,
I don't.
Dark Knight
think
tanks, and they
yeah, but I don't know. There's something about a gunblade that I don't think really would attribute itself to a tank all much, but I don't know. Any character I've seen in Final Fantasy never seems like a tank. Character uses weapons like that.
I don't know what they would draw from job-wise for that weapon, unless it's in a Tactics Advanced game that I never played.
Not that I recall.
Yeah, I'm drawing a huge blank here. So if you have any ideas, let us know.
Yeah, let us know in the comments. Next part, New Game Plus. We'll let New Game Plus for an MMO. What the fuck? New Game Plus will let players replace story quests with their current character strength. If you ever wanted to re-experience the story of Final Fantasy XIV from the beginning, I'm still trying to get it through it the first time, but didn't want to make a new character, Square Enix is adding New Game Plus option. You'll be able to play the main scenario quests and job quests again at higher levels for fun. Neat.
So,
their words, not mine.
Earlier when I said when you could buy a fast forward to play with friends, you don't have to skip the story now, though, because you can just do New Game Plus and still play the story as your high-level character.
Nice.
So they take the restrictions off of the jobs in New Game Plus. So instead of it being like you have to be level 20 and you're going to be capped at level 20, you can literally be like, I'm level 80, I'm going to steamroll this storyline, but I get to experience the storyline now.
I wonder if they'll scale the monsters, though, to be equal level to make it like a little challenge, but...
I don't think so, because it's essentially a second time through the story to re-experience
Well, that's interesting too, because I've always attributed, and we've talked about a couple times, that Final Fantasy XIV is the most like single player RPG MMO I've pretty much played. Like it's definitely an MMO, of course, in every way, but it's very story heavy, and the game will stop you in certain places for the sake of the story to meet certain requirements to finish the story before you can go on, because they care more about your experience through the story than they do about leveling in that game. It seems it's more of a priority, so it's cool that they are adding things that are normally more attributed to a single player game like New Game Plus to a game like this, because if you are playing this game, you are enjoying the storyline, I don't know what would stop you from, just like any other game, wanting to go back and do it again. So I think it's kind of neat to even hear that. So
well, yeah, and the game's 5 years old now, I think.
Damn.
So that's a long time since you probably played through the vanilla game, and you can re-go through it and refresh on it without necessarily, not everyone wants to go watch a YouTube video on it, for example. They might want to just play it themselves. Other people might just do the YouTube thing. So,
yeah. Next one. Blue Mage is the next unique job. Blue Mage is a job we've seen in Final Fantasy Universe since its debut in Final Fantasy 5. The job has always been a magician that learns from monsters, and that's no different in Final Fantasy XIV. You will not learn your job actions as you level. Rather, you'll have to go learn them from monsters in the field. This job is considered limited as it's not connected to any class the other jobs in the game are. It will release in patch 4.5 with level cap of 50. The level cap will expand in later patches. We've pretty much covered that already. Anything you guys want to add to that? It's still, it's interesting how it is almost like early access.
It's a very weird concept.
It's like a bonus class. It's not necessarily like official yet. It's like you're gonna get it and you're gonna like play it through and see where it goes.
I think there's multiple reasons for this. I think the biggest one, and I hate to even say this, with them putting a soft cap essentially on you or a cap on you, it keeps people paying their subscription fee, waiting for it to go up slowly, constantly. So
Yeah.
Other than that, I think it is a good chance for them to kind of test the waters because they are doing something that doesn't exist in the game systematically right now.
Yeah.
So easier to balance something through people playing it.
Yeah. That makes sense. All right. Next thing, a new race is coming, and it's probably Vera.
Vera.
Vera, the rabbit people from Final Fantasy Tactics Advance, have been in hot demand since Final Fantasy XIV launched. Yoshida and Fox both joked throughout the keynote about Yoshida's shirt, which featured Bugs Bunny on a motorcycle. The camera zoomed in dramatically on his rabbit shirt just after announcing an unknown new playable race. So unless this is bringing about a class of playable motorcycles, we're betting on Vera people.
Fran.
Yoshida noted that this will probably be the last new race that will be added to the game, as it's difficult task to do. Main scenario writer and world lore creator Bonri Oda previously told Polygon that even thinking about writing up new race interactions made his stomach hurt. Get that checked out. The Vera race was considered to be added in the first Final Fantasy XIV expansion, Heaven's Ward, but was scrapped in place of the Aura, the Horned Dragon-like race. The race will come out with the Shadowbringers expansion, and a massive hint will be dropped when patch 4.5 releases. I think it's pretty safe to bet that that's going to be the race.
I also think the hint is going to be in the last part of the Ivalice raid. I'm sure it'll be Fran. That's what I'm guessing.
Oh, probably.
When you start the Ivalice raid, you talk to Ramza and stuff like that. So, so the characters are in that part of that game, which is really neat. So that's how they did the Aura announcement too. Is that lady took her mask off and she was one.
Right.
So
The ninja lady.
So
what do you guys feel about that race if it is that one? And if it's not, what do you think it would be?
100% fan service, but it's okay. So
they're only females. The whole race is only females.
I don't think they'll do that.
I think there are males, but they're very rare, and they don't live within the society.
I don't think for 14 they'll do
I'm
that.
a rare boy.
You'll probably see like 99% of them being female. They are a fan service type character. Their clothing is very skimpy.
But their proportions seem pretty normal. They're not
very slender, yeah.
They're not rock butt people.
Right. I wonder if they're going to incorporate like anything like from like 12 with Fran, with like the mist and how that affects them and things like that. Because there's no mist and.
I mean, probably not. I don't think they're going to connect them too much. They're just going to introduce them as a race that exists for 14.
I want Balthier, damn it.
They did think about putting him in, but I guess they weren't able to. So.
Why not? I like Balthier.
But yeah,
it's a hard name to pronounce for people. Can't put him in.
I'm going to stick with my character being in Aura. I really like the dragon kin, so I'm going to. It's not interesting for me, though it is cool. More options for customization is always a good thing. So
I'd have to see how the armors look on them. That's really important to me, but I'll most likely stick with Huon because I really like running around looking like lightning.
Well, games usually base their armors based off a human model first. So
I'm pro bunny people, so I'm stoked for it. If they don't do the bunny people, what do you think else they could add?
The lizard people from Tactics, but that would be really.
I don't feel like they'd do that.
Bonga, whatever they're called.
Something like that. There's the lizard people, and then there's like the manatee people too from Tactics Advanced
Manatee
2.
people.
Yeah.
They played most of the Magic classes. I mean, they also had Moogles as a playable race. I don't see them doing that though.
Woo!
That'd
That'd
be
be
pretty
fan
awesome.
service. That'd be the ultimate
It'd be
fan
super
service.
fan service, but
I'd love it, but at the same time,
they're
I
more
think it'd be a
likely
little
to
too
do
far.
more humanoid races than anything.
Yeah.
But it's hard to say.
Yeah, it'll be. It's Vieira.
It's got to be. Yeah.
Yeah. Once again, they were making very obvious jokes without coming
Well,
out
and the
saying
camera zoomed in on his shirt. They had
Yeah.
to tell them to do that. The people up there weren't just like, haha, look at that.
it. Why is he wearing Bugs Bunny?
Yeah, what the fucking stupid shirt. This guy's a dork. And the last thing in this article, players can now move between worlds in the same data center. If your friend is playing in a different server within your data center, you'll be able to travel to them. From 3 main cities in the game, Ul'dah, New Gridania, and Limsa Laminza. I actually know all those names from fucking playing that game. You'll be able to teleport to other worlds. This is great for friends playing in different servers, though it is limited within data centers. After all, moving between a Japanese and American data center would be a lot of work. Another 2 data centers are opening up for North America and Europe. Worlds will have to be regrouped across data centers to prevent congestion. Once Shadowbringers goes live, Yoshida noted that Square Enix will offer free world transfers to help compensate this issue. More details about Blue Mage and that's.
So yeah, they're adding another data center here in North America and one in Europe. I didn't pay too much attention to the Europe one other than the fact they're getting 2 new servers. So that's awesome. The thing that's weird about the data center here is we have 2 data centers right now, so this will be a third.
Right.
Our server is one of the ones getting moved to the new data center, so we will no longer be part of the Aether data center. And they won't disclose locations, so I don't know like if it's going to be the best paying option for us or not. Which I really wish they would make that more available. But
And then the other problem with that is like the guild house. If we move servers, do we get?
I don't know how that works. As long as I can connect to it and it plays fine, I don't care. I already know we're time wise off from the server, anyways. I think by 3 hours, so it's probably East Coast. But all that being said, it's really interesting, right? Because they're adding that being able to transfer within your data center, but now the data centers are becoming smaller, so it's almost doesn't make sense because you're going to be able to go to whatever another server on your data center, but the choices have dropped because they're moving a third of them to the new data center.
Right.
So I don't know, weird. It is cool though that you can because you can already cross party right now and queue up for stuff. Now you can actually go there and quest with people.
Yeah.
So it's like what Warcraft does.
Probably that they obviously are taking a technology that exists in the market and implementing it to their game. So
Which is good. I mean, like in a game like this, you want to get the community as connected as possible. So
exactly.
Less hurdles, the better.
we
don't really have a whole lot of people we know who are playing on other servers, so we don't have to worry about too much.
I know one person.
But anybody obviously who watches the channel who wants to hop on our server, whatever, that transfer's coming up. So what server are we on?
Coral, and it'll be part of the new data center when those roll out, which I can't remember the name of right now. So.
Yeah. So.
But currently, Aether, Coral.
Yeah. We got a clan too, I think, and
Tasty Loot Gaming.
We got a
House.
We got a house I never go to.
Very small house, and he's
Almost lost it.
Lots of attention, but me and Chris
Some shyster took our fucking clan for a little bit.
can't play consistently.
Then I was the clan leader for 5 minutes.
Which was really weird. It picked you.
So he's like, "Hey, you want this?" I'm like, "Or can I have that?" I'm like, "Yeah, you can." I don't want to fucking do this. I'm placed enough to fucking be the leader. Yeah. Anything else? You excited about them servers?
It's great that a lot more people to play together.
Yeah.
I have friends who play on different servers, so it's nice you don't have to pay to go across servers now.
Yeah, I like that they're giving that out for free too. They're doing the transfer and stuff to help with that. So
Anytime they do server, like physical server stuff, they offer everyone free transfers because they're obviously taking the decision out of your hands at that point, and they want to give you some decision back. The only thing I really have to say is I got to catch up before summer on the story. So
you got time.
yeah,
I just hope they make a server on our coast. Maybe we'll have to jump ship.
I wouldn't jump ship anyways. There's no way the ping's gonna be that bad across even to the East Coast.
Nowadays, it's not so bad. If it was another country, it'd be a different story.
Ever since they did the upgrade, was it 2 years ago to the server? The ping has been a lot better anyways, because I think originally it was in Canada for some reason.
Canada.
And now they brought it back down, which obviously increase the ping for people that it was close to, but
get it out of there.
They
Bring it
originally
down
they
here.
wanted to put it in a spot where everyone had a similar ping.
Gotcha.
So now they're all over the place again. So we'll see. I don't know. I don't speak MMO servers very well, so
Me neither. Never learn. Never will. Let us know in the comments what you think about Final Fantasy XIV. What do you think about the Shadowbringers expansion? Is there anything, any info to that we did not cover? Let us know. What do you think about the blue mages? What do you think about the character with the gunblade? What do you think they're going to do? Do you think it's going to be a tank? Do you think it's going to be a DPS class? What class do you think it's going to be? Do you think we're going to get it? What race do you think we're going to get? Probably safe to bet the Vera, however you say that. And if you don't think it's going to be that for some reason, which one do you think it's going to be, or which one would you prefer? Let me know in the comments as well. And if you have an opinion on the server thing, let us know. But I think that's going to do it for this episode of TasteCast episode 83. As always, thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. If you enjoy this episode, make sure to check out our other episodes. Check us out on Tumblr, Twitter, and Facebook, which is getting some attention lately. I don't get it. At Tasty Loot Gaming. Check out me and Chris on Twitch and me on this channel. On Twitch, though, Tasty Senpai, all one word, tasty_fruit. For fucking Chris, I can't talk right now. And hit the notification button to know when we go live. We are on podcast platforms, iTunes, Spotify, and everything else. Links down below if you prefer to listen to us. And we have a Discord down below if you'd like to talk to us anytime, all the time. As always, thanks for watching. I want to thank everybody who has supported the channel. Again, one more time, hitting 1,000 subs is amazing. We got a bright future ahead of us. Very excited for all that. And make sure to come back next weekend. We will not be doing a taste cast next weekend. We're doing the 24-hour stream, so check that out. That will be on Friday into Saturday. Chevy's gonna die from it. My name's Seth.
I'm Chevy.
And I'm Chris.
Until the next episode, which will be Taste Tuesday. Have a great weekend, guys, and take it easy.